Hello and welcome to QUTV Game Day. I'm Tyler Menendez.
And I'm Jake Vitale.
This is the pregame show for the matchup between the Quincy University Hawks and the Upper Iowa Peacocks. As you can see from behind me, the Peacocks are getting a warm welcome here to the Rock as it is their first time here in Quincy.
A warm welcome indeed, Tyler. We got plenty of things going on here. We got music in the background, we got food on the grill, and we got plenty of alumni and students here ready to watch a homecoming football game. And with all that being said, let's take a look at this previous bird fight.
That bird fight was an absolute shootout, let me tell you. The game started off slow in the first quarter with no scoring, and then in the second, both teams combined for 24 points. But both offenses were not done there, as in the third quarter, both offenses combined for a whopping 35 points, 21 of which went the Hawks' way, giving them the victory over the Peacocks. However, the Peacocks did not go down without a fight, as they did get one touchdown in the fourth quarter. Returning QB Daryl Overstreet Jr. threw for 236 yards and 3 touchdowns in that one. However, he couldn't have done it without the help of his 2 first-team all-conference weapons, who combined for 226 receiving yards.
And those 2 weapons being wide receiver Monte Morrow and tight end Eddie Burgess. They are the pillars of this Upper Iowa passing game, and when I mean pillars, I really mean it. Both of these guys are 6'4", 200+ pounds, and they will surely be a force against smaller defensive backs. These 2 are returning along with the quarterback Daryl Overstreet Jr., who has been the starter since last season. And last year he finished with an average of 175 yards passing a game with 14 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. This year he is passing at a similar rate of 155 yards a game, and he's on pace to match his total touchdowns of last year at 14, but he has struggled to keep the ball out of the defense's hands with 4 interceptions already this year. And his primary targets are the aforementioned Monte Morrow and Eddie Burgess. Both of these guys being named a first-team All-GLVC last year, and Monte actually had his best game, in fact, against the Hawks last year with 151 yards and breaking career-long 72-yard touchdown pass. This season, he is the team's leading receiver, averaging 16 yards per catch. And moving on from the outside to the inside, tight end Eddie Burgess is the team's leading scorer this year. However, Eddie has not competed in the last 2 Upper Iowa competitions, so let's hope he returns to this game to make it an exciting game.
Well, Jake, I would go out on a limb to say that if Burgess does return in this one, that linebacker Brock Inman is going to have his hands full with him over the middle in this one. However, we do know how notorious Inman is for the interception, as he led the entire GLVC last season with 5. So it should be interesting to see who comes out on top of that 1v1 battle. And as for the wide receiver Monte Morrow, well, that's going to be DB1 Joseph Webb's assignment this afternoon. Webb has proved to be one of the most explosive players on the defensive side of the ball for the Hawks, clocking in 8 total tackles in just their first 2 games. So it should be interesting to see how that one plays out. But with that being said, I wouldn't go as far as to say that these 2 guys are going to get locked up this afternoon. Given the chance that Burgess does not return, I would assume that Morrow would be the primary target for Overstreet Jr., but I definitely don't foresee another 150-yard performance out of Morrow in this one. But the Peacocks are definitely going to try to get the ball in his hand and get him in the end zone.
I also don't see 150 yards out of him. But one thing the Hawks should be weary of is if they end up in the red zone, watch out for Overstreet to run one in, as he has 2 rushing touchdowns this year, despite actually having negative rushing yards on the year. Ain't that a little weird, Tyler?
That is a bit weird, Jake. What's also a bit weird is that these 2 programs are coming off nearly identical wins in last week's matchups. Both teams scored 21 unanswered points to take down conference opponents. Upper Iowa went down 7-0 to SBU in the first half. The Peacocks were shut out all the way until the fourth quarter, where they would score 21 points, giving them a 21-7 victory and moving them to 1-0 in the conference. As for the Hawks, last week they were on the road at Missouri S&T in Rolla. The Miners jumped out to a 14-0 lead in the first half, and that was just about it for the Miners offense, as the Hawks scored 1 in the third and 2 in the fourth, giving them a 21-14 victory and advancing them to 2-0 in conference play.
So it's safe to say that these offenses are hot coming into this homecoming Saturday.
You know what else I heard is a little bit hot? Those grills back there that are getting fired up.
Thank goodness, man, because I was getting hungry from all this talking.
Oh, don't you worry, big guy. We're going to get you fed here in just a minute. We'll be right back after a quick short break. We will be in the middle of the QU homecoming tailgate action.
Welcome back to QUTV Game Day on the GLVC Sports Network. We're back in the middle of the homecoming festivities here at Quincy, and we got some food here to try with us. And while we wait on that to cool down, we wanted to bring a Quincy alumni coming back for his first homecoming weekend, not as a student here at QU, to talk about what it's all about.
Hey, I'm glad you guys could have me here.
Thank you, Eli, for joining us and taking a second away from the fun. So with this being your first homecoming back as an alumni, take us back to what homecoming weekend meant to you as a student at QU.
Yeah, it was just always a fun weekend that we really look forward to. It was just awesome to have like the community and just the students and just anybody around out to celebrate the Hawks, you know?
Go Hawks, right?
Sure.
Thank you, Eli. That was awesome. We won't hold you any longer. We'll let you get back to the fun and have a good homecoming and stay safe.
Awesome, thank you.
There you go.
So what's up, hungry guy? Did you forget about the food here? Or?
No shot. I've been waiting for this segment all morning right here.
Before we dive in, let's say a quick thank you to all the people out here that are generous enough to give us some food to try here on the show. Go for it, Jake.
All right. I don't know what we have here.
Got a little slider of some sort.
I think this is provided by Seth West family, and this is absolutely delicious. I'm not sure what it is, but it is freaking amazing.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here. Very, very honey-like, very delicious.
All right. We're going to get going here so that we can join the homecoming fun for the game that kicks off on the GLVC network at 1 o'clock.
Definitely looking forward to a good matchup here between these two programs. Stay tuned for that and tune in on the stream to support your guys. For more QUTV Game Day events like this, be sure to check us out on social media and QUmedia.net.
Go Hawks! Go Hawks!